Hello, and welcome to the Loveology podcast, where we talk about love and life with laughter. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jason.
He's the carefree one.
She's the serious one.
And we're married.
We have been since 2012, and we like to think of ourselves as a couple of loveologists.
Not because we are the experts, but because we just love love.
We enjoy studying and talking about it, so we thought, let's just start a podcast.
A place where we can share what we have learned about love, relationships, and marriage.
You can share what you've learned, and we can all grow together.
So here we are. Are you ready?
Let's get started. What is going on, everybody out there in podcast world, podcast land, podcast planet? Man, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? What's up?
Hi, everyone.
What's up, baby girl?
Hey.
Looking good?
Thank you. So
Smelling
you?
good? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Might get a little
Can
something.
you smell me all the way over there?
Mm-hmm. Smell like roses.
Roses don't smell that good, though.
What
Roses
Outcast?
really smell like...
Boo. Yeah. Hey. But, man, had a good time. You know, great weekend to kind of relax, man. Shout out to DJ PZB.
Yeah.
I hope y'all checking her out on Facebook and Instagram. She said she's going to do a 24-hour DJing session. So
how's she going to do that?
She got the energy. She's going to do it. If anybody else can do it, she can do it. So shout out to PZB. Go check her out. 24-hour DJ section. She's gonna start that next Friday, I believe. So that's awesome, babe. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm really hoping that everyone is staying home and staying safe, and I hope that you and your family are well in this time when
Yes.
some people are not.
Yes.
And I just want to lift everyone who may not be feeling well in prayer.
Right.
A lot of sick people out here.
Yes.
So yes, I just want to
check on your loved ones, man.
Yeah.
Check on your loved ones. This is time that we definitely need to be checking on our loved ones, especially our older loved ones, you know, possibly even daily text message, something. Just check in.
Absolutely.
You know, definitely want to check in. And, you know, we ate out this weekend. Well, we had delivery.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I learned that you can't say take out or carry out because that means you have to go and get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. The lady, I called in. I said, I want a carry out. And she was like, you want delivery? I was like, yeah, carry out, right? Yeah.
No, carry out means you carry it
out. No, you carry out and bring it to me. So I learned that, guys, you know, still learning loveology. Still learning about stuff. But, you know, we had some fish and we had some pizza. So,
yeah, Mama,
you know.
listen, Mama got tired. Actually, she was tired. I've been cooking like three meals a day for a month and a half.
Right.
And I was like, oh, we're going to have to pray over this food and keep it moving.
Yeah.
But we didn't really understand that, like, oh, it's okay to order food.
You can order out.
Yeah.
You can order out.
Yeah.
Just, you know, because the heat kills the viruses or whatever. So, you know, my thing is, you know, we ordered pizza and we just, you know, stuck it in the oven and for a few minutes. And, you know, I think that does it. You microwave it, you know.
There's no cases or anything showing that it's being transmitted through food or the packages. Actually, I read that somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So originally I saw that it may be possible that it could be transferred through the packaging, which we still going to play it safe and throw
heat
the
everything
out. Yeah. But yeah, I heard somewhere that there's just been no cases of that. So.
Right. So, you know, take a load off, get some of the stimulus money and, you know, and treat yourself a little bit. All right. All right. So, baby, I think this is a great episode.
Yeah, I think so too. We are talking about apologizing. Something that we all have to do, or that we all should be doing. If you're not apologizing ever,
you suck.
Oh, Jason.
I'm just going to say it. Not apologizing, you suck.
I think you might need to reevaluate some things.
Everybody makes mistakes.
That's right.
Right? You make mistakes. The person that's listening to this podcast, if you think you're perfect and you don't make mistakes, you made a mistake today. So, you know, we need to learn how to apologize. And what I'm finding out, that there's several ways to apologize, right?
Yes, there are several ways to apologize, and we are learning this from Mr. Gary Chapman. You may recognize his name because he wrote the New York Times bestseller book called The 5 Love Languages. We did talk about this in a previous episode, in an earlier episode, so go check that out if you have time. Definitely check out Five Love Languages. But he wrote another book about the different languages of apology. And he and a woman named Jennifer Thomas. And the title of that book is When Sorry Isn't Enough. So have you ever been in one of those situations where you apologize to somebody and there was like, that's not a real apology. I mean, I don't feel like you are sincere. That's because we have different like definitions or perceptions of what is an apology.
For sure.
So that's what we're going to talk about today because we just want to keep the love flowing, okay? We don't want any blockage.
Yes.
So if we need to learn how our partner is what they feel like is a genuine apology, and apologize to them that way. That's the gist.
Yeah.
That's basically what the Five Love Languages was about. That we all receive and give love differently.
Right.
And it's 5 major ways that we do this. And so if you really want to show your partner that you love them, you need to show them love in the way that they receive it.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So
and here's the thing. Here's the deal. We're people, right? We're human. We make mistakes, right? Sometimes you break promises for yourself, right?
Right.
Sometimes you do stuff that you didn't want to do, and you make mistakes against yourself. So the difference is you can apologize to yourself without even saying something. You can kind of like, all right, I know what I need to do. Boom.
Right.
But when you're dealing with a different person, when you're communicating to a different person about your apologies, right, you got to do it the right way. You want to just move on. Again, issues where you have to apologize, that's just a clog in the flow, like you said. So we're going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. Get to the apology. Be sincere, or however your mate wants to hear their apology. Feel that way and move on.
That's right.
Let's go.
All right, let's go. We're ready to learn.
Let's go. Let's go, baby.
We are ready to learn how to apologize to your partner.
How you do that, love?
Okay. So I'm going to read you guys know I love to bring the books. Okay. So
yes.
Of course I read most of this book in order to be able to talk about this today. So right now I'm going to read a quote from the book that's going to explain a lot of things. Okay. Mm-hmm. There are 5 fundamental aspects of an apology.
5 fundamental aspects. Aspects.
Now I can't say the word. Of an apology.
Of an apology. Real quick.
Okay.
So make sure y'all get y'all notes out real quick. And before we jump into this, right? If you are part of our top tier, VIP tier, we have we could do a whole hour where we talk to you. If you don't know, all that good stuff, if you want to talk a little bit more, get some, some more empowering words, man, go be our Patreon, go check it out. Go to loveologypodcast.com, find that Patreon button, pick a tier. Now, mind you, the VIP session is for the VIP tier. Man, go check it out. If you want to become a Patreon, we appreciate it. If not, man, just shoot us an email. We'll see what we can do for you.
That's right.
All right. Holla at me.
Okay. So this is a quote from the book. We call them the 5 languages of apology. Each of them is important, but for a particular individual, 1 or 2 of the languages may communicate more effectively than the others. The key to good relationships is learning the apology language of the other person and being willing to speak it. When you speak their primary language, you make it easier for them to genuinely forgive you. When you fail to speak their language, it makes forgiveness more difficult because they are not sure if you are genuinely apologizing. So we want to make it easy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Because we want to get to the makeup sex.
Yes, absolutely. So this is the first one. Okay. Expressing regret.
Expressing regret. Okay, so let's talk about it.
Yes, let's talk about it. So when you make a mistake, do you correct the problem and not assume responsibility?
If I make a mistake, I try to accept responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Because for some reason, the person thinks that I played a part into it. So I got to take responsibility for the part that I played.
Yes.
Right? Or at least get the perspective from them.
Yeah. So you say, I'm sorry. and then you correct the problem.
Yes.
So some people a little slick with it. See, they just start correcting the problem. They don't actually say, I'm sorry.
No, you gotta apologize.
Right.
You gotta apologize for the actions that you did. You did something.
I actually saw a couple, and I believe it was on Black Love Doc, and I wish I could have watched this episode again. The husband and the wife were actually talking about apology, and she was telling him that he never says that he's sorry. He just jumps straight to, well, I won't do that again, because to him, a real apology is changing the issue.
That is important.
Yes. But she was telling him, but you never say, I'm sorry.
I don't know this change is about to happen.
Even if the change did happen, it's still,
you gotta apologize for the past mistakes.
Yeah, it's still something. So for some people, right? Like this was a perfect example of how two people can have different definitions, and she still didn't feel like that he regretted it. For some people, it's important for them to know that you feel bad about what you did.
Right.
That makes me feel better.
Right.
That like actually you were hurt that you hurt me.
Right.
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 And having the ability to say, I'm sorry that I hurt you.
Right.
Not just jump into the solution or saying, oh, well, I won't do that again.
Right.
I need to know that you hurt me.
Right.
And that you actually feel pretty bad about that. That makes me feel like you love me, I guess, you know? So that's pretty much what it is, right? Like just jumping to correcting this problem, but not actually, maybe it's like, I feel like you're not being humble if you won't say the words, I'm sorry, and express your regret.
Right.
So basically their definition of expressing regret is the emotional aspect of an apology. It is expressing to the offended person your own sense of guilt, shame, and pain that your behavior has hurt him deeply, or she, or her. So now for some people, it's even important is more impactful to be specific. So sorry for what, right? We ask our daughter that.
Right.
We like, say sorry, you know, and then she say sorry. Okay, what are you sorry for? Do you know what happened?
Right.
Do you know how you hurt me specifically? So that's, if a person's apology language is this, you may even want to try to get real specific when you apologize and say, I understand that I didn't call you and let you know that I was going to be out longer than what we had talked about. And I know that hurts you very much. Like, be very specific about the pain that you caused them.
Well, you want to be specific because, I mean, that's getting to the root cause of the issue. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand what the problem was, so you don't do the problem again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah. But also just knowing that you know that your actions, right? You know what you did.
Right.
They did also point out that sincere regret also needs to stand alone. So do not say you apologize for something and then say but, and then turn around and blame the other person for something that they did. You just need to be apologizing for what you did. Okay.
Right.
Say, well, I'm sorry I blew up on you, but you did this and did that.
Right.
Well, no. Are you supposed to be blowing up on me or what?
Well, sometimes, you can do chain reaction mistakes. It's the crazy cycle, right? Love and respect. So, I think it is important to hear, yes, definitely we need to apologize for your portion, but I do want to let you know this did trigger me to get there. So I shouldn't have, even though that triggered me, I should have, did what I was supposed to do. But let's talk about what triggered me as well.
Right.
And then we might go to another thing. Well, I did that because you triggered me when you did this. So once you figure out these different triggers, then you can go to the source of what's really going on. And it could be just stress.
Yeah.
Just simple as that.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, let's work on, stress. Or it could be the man is upset he's not getting enough sex. Well, let's see if we can work on that. You know what I'm saying? And so that can get to the core of what's really going on. But you got to communicate through all this.
Absolutely. This is what it's all about, communicating. So to wrap this one up, again, speaking the language of regret, if your partner is a person that this is important to them, you need to be focusing on their pain and your behavior and how the two are related. Okay?
Exactly.
Next one. Accepting responsibility.
Accepting responsibility. How can you apologize if you don't accept responsibility?
I don't know. That's not a real apology.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
So I think that, this kind of goes back to saying I'm wrong. And a lot of people have a hard time saying that they're wrong.
So if you have a hard time saying that you're wrong, then that means you know a lot.
Yeah, well, yes.
You know what I'm saying? That means you
think you know a lot.
Exactly.
One of the two.
That's my point. So if you think you know a lot or know everything, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to humble yourself and understand that we're all learning. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We all learning. I don't care if you have been in a relationship for 60 years, you're still learning about a relationship. Right? Things change, environments change, people change. So there's no way you're gonna know everything or know a lot. It's not even good to say you know a lot. Right. I think that could be, it's a good thing and a bad thing to call somebody very smart, because now that may put them in a mindset that I know a lot, which really we don't. You know what I'm saying? And if everybody just stay humble, then it's okay to recognize that, dang, you know what, I was wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know about this. Yeah.
I feel like so to me, this is a self-esteem issue, which is what you're saying too. But I feel like a really, really confident person understands that they're not right all the time.
For sure.
And they still love themselves.
Yes.
That's what a confident person is. It's like, okay, well, sometimes I make mistakes.
Yeah.
But I'm still a lovable person. Like, I'm a person. I'm a human being. It's okay to be wrong. And I'm confident to be able to admit that I was wrong.
Right.
Because I'm learning. You just have this understanding about this and not get all, I'm a weak person or, something's wrong with me.
No,
we're just all learning.
We're all learning.
I'm out here trying. I'm trying my best.
You're not going to make 100% on every quiz, on every homework paper, on every test. It's just not not realistic. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do, why are you in the class?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? we're all learning, so you're gonna make mistakes. It's okay.
Yeah. So even though kind of expressing regret and accepting responsibility they are very closely related, it seems to me after I read this that the biggest difference is really when you express regret, you still not necessarily saying you're wrong. You're just expressing that that you hurt someone. And you feel really bad and that you're sorry about that. But accepting responsibility for being wrong, like no, I actually it's two totally different things. They're close, but it's actually different to say the words I'm sorry and I know that I was wrong. Right.
Because when you know you wrong, you can know that you're wrong and still not be sorry about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, no. I want you to feel bad. Like you said, feel bad that you made me feel bad. You know what I'm saying? Like it goes hand in hand.
Right.
And I think it's also equally damaging. I don't know, maybe not as equally, but if you say that you're sorry, but you don't know what you did. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that? You know?
How can you know? How can you be sorry and you don't know what the problem is?
You just sorry that my feelings are hurt, but you're not. You don't know what you did to hurt my feelings.
Yeah, you don't want to take the time to like really understand what you did.
So it's important that these two are married together.
Yeah.
Like peanut butter and jelly.
Right. They are separate, but very important to be together. Like you said, these are aspects of an apology. Like all these things are included in an apology. But some things really stand, like one of these aspects or two may really, really stand out to you. And if you don't hear this part of it, you're not feeling the apology. Like you gotta hear one part of this in order to really feel like, okay, this person just apologized to me. Right. Now, I guess I was gonna wait to say this later, but I'll just say it now because I'm just like, I feel like I need all five. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
We're gonna keep going through it, but I'm just like, yes, all of them are
Yeah.
Aspects of an apology. All of
Right.
these things make an apology.
Right.
I think I need all 5 of these things, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Let's keep going.
We'll see. There was a quote that I really liked, and it said he was talking to a couple or a man, and he told the man that there's a difference between understanding why we do what we do and accepting what we do. It is easy to understand why you would do something, but responding the way that you do is not acceptable sometimes. So even like I said, even though we can understand it, it's still not acceptable to behave in certain ways. Here's another quote. I call it agree/disagree. I agree that I have a right to feel hurt, angry, disappointed, and frustrated, or whatever else I may be feeling. I don't choose my feelings. I simply experience them. I like that. I don't choose my feelings. I simply experience them. On the other hand, I disagree with the idea that because of my feelings, I have the right to hurt someone else with my words or behavior.
Correct.
So just understanding that you take responsibility for your actions. I heard once before that your response is your responsibility. Ooh. Preaching today.
Yes.
So that's
to turn to your neighbor. Shoot. Your response is your responsibility. Y'all better watch out.
So yes, that is the gist of this. Okay.
Yes.
Good marriages are not dependent upon perfection, but they are dependent upon a willingness to acknowledge your wrong and to seek forgiveness.
For sure.
You got some gems in here.
Shoot, man, we just bringing it all to you. We hopefully encourage you guys to read the book, but if not, you should be able to get just enough to make some changes. Right?
Yep.
Moving on.
Making restitution.
Making restitution. What they talking about, love?
Doing something to make amends for what you have done.
Yeah.
So this is all about what can you do to show me that you are sorry.
Show me that you love me.
So basically, you know, I believe as a society, and they also said in this book too, as a society, we believe in restitution. When someone does something wrong, they get fined, they do something.
That's true.
You know, in order to make amends, even though you can't really make amends, but you need to do something to help me get over this. Right. So this, if your partner's primary apology language is this, making restitution, this is where the 5 love languages really come into play. Because when you go to try to do something to make amends with them,
it needs to align with their love language.
It needs to align with their love language. I feel like people.
I'm physical touch, so.
Oh yeah.
I need you
Jason
to do something
get
strange.
rubbed down and some more stuff, and then you also need to get a lot of words of affirmation. Yes. So just for a review, they reviewed it. Words of affirmation is the first one. I need to, you know, really be giving you affirming words. So I'm trying to think of a way that I don't know, offended you in some way. And it's like, you know, I just really need to be speaking about it. Right. Acts of service, that's me. Okay.
I gotta wash them dishes. I gotta sweep that floor. I gotta take out the trash. I gotta fold the clothes.
Yes, or you could just like do something special for me, like make me a dinner or something like that.
Yeah. Put me to work.
Yes.
Basically.
You need to do something. bring me something. I don't know. Like, yeah, put you to work, yes.
Yes, put me to work. Because that's gifts. Is, you know, buy you some flowers and stuff like that.
Yes, and that's the next one, actually receiving gifts. And, you know, a lot of times people kind of act like receiving gifts is like a materialistic person, but that's not true. Yeah. It can be a small gift. It doesn't have to be anything expensive.
Right.
And
it's just a gesture.
Yeah, exactly. It's the thought that counts. And he gave an example of they were saying that, you know, throughout history, they say anthropologists.
Who are them, baby?
People who study cultures.
Okay, here we go. I'm just asking for all my people that, you know, ain't up on those big words just yet.
They said they've discovered that like in every culture, gift giving is a sign of like love.
Yes.
Right. So it's okay if your love language is receiving gifts. It's fine.
Walk your walk, girl.
Yes. Or
Talk your
guy.
talk, homeboy.
But yes, it just shows them that you're thinking about me. You
Right.
gave me a gift. So they gave the example of as early as when you're a child and you pick a dandelion, your child picks a dandelion out of the ground and gives to their mother. I was like, oh my God, my daughter has done that so many times and nobody told her to do that. It's
Right.
like a little dandelion and she'll pick it and give it to me.
Right.
That's her love. She's showing me love.
Right.
You know, I'm like, oh.
Right.
But anyways, you know, you can just bring, like I said, flowers, anything. If
Right.
your lady's love language is receiving gifts and you mess up, you better be going to go get her a gift.
Mhm.
Okay?
If that's it, if that's what it is.
If that's what her love language is, you need to get her a gift now. Gifts don't work on me
Mm-hmm.
at all.
Yeah.
Acts of service work on me.
Yeah, and quality time. which
And
is
quality time, which is the next one. So Jason knows that, you know, he needs to give me his undivided
another.
attention.
Cut off the cell phone.
Probably
Cut off
needs
the TV. Take her hands, both of them.
Look at me in my eyes.
Cross my legs like an Indian style on the couch. Hey, baby.
Yes. And you need to apologize to me that way. The whole
I
apology
am
needs to be conducted
sorry
that way.
that I done this, you know. And that's how you gotta do it. And I'm words of affirmation, so that helps with my with Ashley's quality time, because we're gonna do a lot of time talking.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of go hand in hand.
Yes, and physical touch. You know,
Hey,
it's a lot of emotional power in physical touch.
show is.
That's what they.
Thank you,
to
Jesus.
quote the book, emotional power, physical touch. Yeah. So Jason needs me to give him a hug. Maybe this can be. Don't have to be the. You know, all this other
it can
stuff.
be all
It
that.
can be that too. But since that is the primary love language, if I apologize to Jason, I need to ask for a hug and ask for a smooch at the very least. Like we need to be embracing.
That'll soften my hard heart.
No, yeah. So definitely. So yes, that's the way that you need to apologize, and then you also need to commit to giving me something to make amends for what you did.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Genuinely repenting is the fourth aspect. The fourth apology language.
And we're going to get into what is important to me particular and Ashley in particular.
Yes. So repentance, if you're a Christian or in the church at all, you've heard this word a lot.
Right.
But the word repentance means to turn around or to change one's mind. So when you truly repent, it means to not do that anymore.
Right.
Okay.
Put forth a real effort to not do it anymore.
Yeah, put forth a really, really big effort.
And only you know if that effort is real or a big effort or not.
So, and like I said, when that couple that I saw on TV, this was clearly his, because he was all about, well, I'm just not going to do that anymore. He was like, sometimes people apologize and they just keep doing the same thing over and over again. And he's right. So that's clearly what he needs to feel like someone is apologizing, making that plan not to do this anymore. So what would this look like if you needed to speak this language of repentance? The book says it begins with an expression of intent to change. And it is important to express it, because sometimes people just don't want to communicate what their plans are. They just, in their mind, they say, well, I'm going to change. I'm not going to do this anymore. But it is important for the offended person to hear you say that you intend to change. It's important to hear.
Yeah. She let me know what your plan is.
Right, exactly, because they could still be upset.
Yeah, you can say, I'm sorry, and then, I won't do this again. Okay.
Yeah.
But what are the steps you're going to do to make sure this doesn't happen again?
Right, because even if they don't believe you, it still just helps to verbalize it. Right?
Right.
So I like what you pointed out is going to really try to change, because they also mentioned this in the book, that really changing behavior takes time. And in the process, we may fail, right? So, if you do, You just need to verbalize that with your partner right away. Let them know that I know that I messed up.
Right.
Again,
Right.
I'm still trying. Please bear with me.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to do this,
Exactly.
So just keep reassuring them that you are trying and owning up to the fact that you just did something that you said that you wouldn't do anymore. So I have an example of this.
Talk to me.
Because Jason and I, when we would have arguments in the past, I used to say the words never. Like, Jason, you never do this.
Yeah.
Or Jason, you always do something negative, whatever that, insert whatever that negative things was. And Jason would just get so burned up about it. He's like, I don't always.
Right.
I
don't always leave the toilet seat up.
Yes.
Have you noticed a change?
How can you say, I never?
Have you noticed a change in the toilet seats?
No.
Yeah, haven't been paying attention.
Well, you didn't verbalize your
true.
intent to change.
That's true. I just want to.
See if I was going to see it.
Yeah.
It may have taken me 2 more months to see that.
Yeah.
So you should have verbalized your intent to change, and then I would have noticed much quicker.
Well, you know what? And people can, if you've been listening on the podcast, I was like, well, why do we need to put it down? You know what I'm saying? Because if I should put down the lip, I should put down the top. So it really didn't necessarily make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? But once I really just really think about it, everything doesn't have to necessarily make sense. The fact of the matter is my wife doesn't like this particular thing.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so even though it doesn't make sense in my mind, I still should put forth an effort to make her happy. And if that's by me putting down the toilet seat, then so be it. I'm going to put down the toilet seat. And I've been actively putting down this toilet seat 100% of the time since I made that decision.
Now that you say that, I'm flashing back to all the times I've gotten up in the middle of the night and the toilet seat was down.
Yes.
I really appreciate it.
Actively. There's been times where I walked out and I said, nope, go put that toilet seat down. I forgot. Put it down. So I've actively been doing it. So
we only been married for 7 years, you guys. But, I'm appreciative.
Learn and love. This is Loveology, where we learn how to love. And the beautiful part about it is we're not experts. That's what I like. That's what I love about this podcast. Listen, we're not experts, right? So we don't come across as this, talking down to you guys. We come across as, hey man, we're experiencing this too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's some things that we may have conquered, but it's still some things that, even though we've been married 7 years, people that's been going together for 6 months already got that down.
Right.
Hell, I didn't. So, but I got it now.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
That is so amazing that you just brought that up too, because it was an example of a man who was joking with his wife in this book, and the wife was saying that it was hurtful to her, and he was just like, oh, she's being sensitive or whatever, and then he was saying, oh, the women at work never say anything about it. She's just blowing it out of proportion, and so the Dr. Chapman actually did an experiment at his work, a survey at his work, at his job, and it turned out that people were being offended by his jokes, but they just weren't confronting him about it.
Right.
And so then he decided to change, but he pointed out that it should not have taken all of that for him to change his behavior. It says, in fact, the fact that it deeply hurt his wife and created an emotional barrier between the two of them should have been enough to motivate him to make changes. So this was a small thing. The toilet seat been let up, down. So I don't know if it created an emotional barrier, and it didn't hurt me deeply. It did disappoint me. I will say that, but it was like, it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? But
I'm just a logical person. So if it doesn't make logical sense, then it's like,
yes. But what you said is, great, because you just came to the conclusion that, you know what, this is inconvenient for my wife.
Right.
And this is a problem for her. And I think I'm just going to do it, even though it doesn't make sense for me. Right. So this is like this exact same example, just on a smaller scale.
For sure.
But this man was like really, really hurting his wife with his jokes, and he just didn't get it.
Right. Right.
So he continued to do it, but now he realized his thing,
the error of his ways.
Right.
Right.
So back to what I was saying about taking time to get to change a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So I still do this sometimes we're in an argument. I may say, Jason, you never did this. You always, and you called me on it a couple of times. I'm like, Jason, please call me on it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When I say don't take it, I'm not actually trying to say this. So basically, I figured out that this was wrong as a result of researching for this podcast because we did an episode about learning how to fight fair. It's called Fighting Without Fighting. Check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I researched some of the common pitfalls that people fall into when they are in having an argument. And one of the things was that you use words like always and never. Nobody's always this and nobody's never that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just impossible. So don't use those words. Mm-hmm. I didn't think it was a big deal.
I'm always sexy though.
Okay. Yes, you are.
Yes.
Except when you get on my nerves. So I ever since that time, I said, you know what, I'm wrong. I'm going to try my best not to say those words anymore. But because that is a pattern that I have, a habit that is very hard to break, every now and again, I still say one of those words, and Jason will be like, well, I'm not always. And I'm like, Jason, remember, I'm sorry. I'm trying to break that habit. You're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. I am trying to break that habit. Just please let me know. Don't take it personally that I'm saying that word.
I'm gonna call you on it every time.
You should call me on it.
Yes.
But don't take it personally.
Right.
I'm not trying to.
Right.
It's just a habit that I have.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as you call me on it, I will apologize for saying that, and I will use a more appropriate word.
Because subconsciously you could be thinking, because you're saying always, subconsciously your mind may think always.
Yeah.
Even though that's not what you really feel.
Right.
Right.
I totally want you to call me on it,
yeah.
right? And I think that this is basically what he's saying. Let's just come up with a plan together. Understand, I want to change.
Right.
If I do it again, I'm sorry. It's just hard to break this pattern. It's hard to break this habit. Please help me break my habit. I don't want to hurt you anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do anything to hurt you. So call me on it, whatever. Let's make a plan to please help me not do this anymore.
Right.
So again, making plans is the best way to turn things around. That is one of the tips here. The third step down the road of repentance is implementing a plan. A plan that is not implemented is like a seed that is not planted. Making the plan work requires thought and action.
Okay.
So yeah. You just gotta have a plan. Let's work it out. And it's a great thing to ask your partner, can you help me?
Yes.
Right? Can you help me make the plan?
That's so humbling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It is humbling, but if you really want to have a better relationship, you'll do it.
Cool.
Okay, last factor. Number 5. Requesting forgiveness. Some people don't feel like you apologize to them unless you say, will you please forgive me?
Wow. You know what? That's crazy, because when I took the test, and I know we're going to go over our results, mm-hmm. but when I took the test, requesting forgiveness was 0 for me. Mm-hmm. 0. Mm-hmm. Like the last thing, nothing. Mm-hmm. And I think because when I apologize, I'm going to express that I am sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really am sorry. And if you are, and I think this is important to know, that we're talking about relationship and love. I don't necessarily need to request forgiveness. You don't have to request forgiveness. I already forgive you because I'm in love with you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess it depends on the situation. We don't have those major issues, infidelity. I would request forgiveness if that happened. You know what I'm saying? But I don't request forgiveness. Now, if it was at a workplace, then maybe I would request forgiveness, because I'm not in love like I am intimately in love with you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Same thing with restitution. I don't you don't have to make restitution. That's all. It's like, I love you. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go to work for me just to prove that no. Now, yeah, if we're coworkers or something, yeah, I want you to apologize in front of everybody because you talked about me or you made fun of me in front of, set things straight with everybody. There's all the parties involved. Set things straight. But me and you, no, I'm not going to request forgiveness.
So interesting enough, we are about to roll into what our results are when we took a quiz, and we'll explain that in a second. But mine was 1 point. I also do not believe, I don't need to hear, will you forgive me?
Yeah.
I don't need that.
No.
But let's talk about why it would be important for some people, because clearly some people need it. So they talked about why it would be important. And I was very interested in this because it's not something that I felt like I needed. First, requesting forgiveness indicates to some that you want to see the relationship fully restored. When an offense occurs, immediately it creates an emotional barrier between two people. Until the barrier is removed, the relationship cannot go forward. An apology is an attempt to remove that barrier. So maybe for some people, you can't assume that I'm going to forgive you.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
If you did something wrong, you don't no, you need to ask me for my forgiveness.
Right.
Because I may not.
Right.
Just because you said you're sorry.
We're givers, though. You know what I'm saying? I understand I think because we're givers, we're going to give forgiveness freely. You know what I'm saying? Like, we forgive people before they even apologize. You know what I'm saying? So that's like, it's almost like that's a given. You know what I'm saying? To give forgiveness.
Well, maybe that's why. Us. Yeah, for us.
Yes, because we are big givers.
Yeah. So the second reason is what I just said, shows that you realize that you have done something wrong. The third reason of requesting forgiveness, it shows that you are willing to put the future of the relationship in the hands of the offended person. So again, you don't get to assume that I'm going to forgive you.
Right.
And when I say, will you forgive me? I'm putting the power in your hands to say, please forgive me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't have any control over what you do.
Right.
You know?
I think it's a good gesture. I really do. I think it's good. But it's just, maybe we should practice that.
Practice that. Yeah. I don't know. After reading this, I said, that's interesting. Right? Because they were saying that people who are afraid to request for forgiveness have very strong controlling personalities. And like I said, you're putting the control in somebody else's hands, and many of us fear rejection. So if I ask you for forgiveness and you don't,
I don't know. I need some time to think about it and pray on it.
It may be like really difficult. Like, please forgive me. Please forgive me. You know? So if your partner is apology language is forgiveness, requesting forgiveness, then you need to make sure that it is requested and never demanded. Okay, that is a problem. You try to demand that I forgive you. No, you're gonna have to wait,
right?
Or do whatever until I decide to forgive you,
right?
Some people do that. It's like, well, I already said I'm sorry. Get over it already. No, it ain't over.
That's my journey.
Yes.
You done threw me in the woods. Now I got to figure out how to get out of here. You can't push me up out of here. No.
Right. So that's the last one, right? Just remember that it's something that they have to do. And so.
Recap. So just recap. Genuinely repent is one of them, right? I hope y'all been writing these down. If you haven't had a chance to write it down, here's the time to go get it. Press pause. Go get a pen and paper. Write it down. Number 1, genuinely repent. Number 2, accept responsibility. Number 3, make restitution. Number 4, express regret. Number 5, request forgiveness. So those are the 5. What do you call them, baby?
Apologies of language.
Apologies of language.
I mean, language of apologies.
Languages of apologies. And if you're dating someone and you guys, maybe you don't want to ask them just yet. I think you should. If you're dating, you should take the 5 love languages and figure out what your love language is and figure out what your apology language is,
Yeah.
But if you don't know what type of, maybe it's a coworker or something, make it how you make a smoothie. Just mix it all together.
Yes, I think so.
Make an apology smoothie.
Yeah, I think if you want to just lay out the perfect apology, just do all 5 of these things.
Yeah.
Do all 5 of the things. Okay, so if you did want to know, like Jason said, about your partners, even if you're just dating, what your love languages are, you can go to 5lovelanguages.com, take the quizzes. They have a quiz for finding out your love language and now to also find out your apology language. Okay. So Jason and I went on the website and we took our apology language quiz.
Yes.
And now we are about to tell you guys
Go ahead.
Yeah. Dang. Jason is excited.
Yeah. No, I was just about to say the highest score possible is 20.
Yes.
And, it's not uncommon to have 2 high scores, although one language does have a slight edge for most people. That just means you feel equally receptive to 2 or more of the apology languages.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay. So are you ready to hear our results?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Do we have a drum roll? No.
I don't have no drum roll, but I can put one in.
Jason, you go first.
All right. So I'm going to start from the bottom, right? It's okay.
Sure.
Start from the bottom. So I have 0 for request forgiveness. Again, if I love you, I just feel like, you don't have to request forgiveness for me. I already forgive you. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, maybe need to practice that a little bit. Okay. Expressing regret. That's the next number up. It is 1, I guess, out of 20.
Yeah.
I guess I do want you to express a little regret, but let's not dwell on that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we can move on.
Well, I want to say something about that too, because sometimes I have been in a position where a person was expressing a lot of regret. And at first it was nice, and then it just became really irritating. It's like, okay, you're making this totally about how bad you feel.
Right.
I just feel so horrible. I feel so horrible. Okay. Like I said, I do need to know that, but if it just continues on and you did something really bad, I don't really care how you feel at this point.
Right.
You need to figure out how you're going to make me feel better.
Right.
So.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And like I said, and this is, different situations may cause more expressing regret than others, right? So, this is just a blanket approach here. The next one up, I had 4 out of 20, which was make restitution. So again, I don't need you to, pay me back or do something, get out on all fours and bark like a dog. So I don't need you to do all that. You know what I'm saying? I need to me, I want to get to the core of the problem, so this doesn't happen again.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I want to make this thing as smooth as possible, right? Then I had 5 out of 20, which was accept responsibility. Yeah, I need you to accept responsibility. We have a pandemic going on right now, and that's the main thing that our president is not doing, is accepting responsibility. That's a big thing. If you can't accept responsibility, then there's a good chance that it's going to happen again.
Right.
Because you feel like you had no power in that. Right. So it is very important. I don't know why this is 5. It should be higher than this, but it is very important. It's the second highest number on my list, but it's very important for me to understand that you accept responsibility of your actions. Awesome. And my biggest one, which was a 10 out of a 20, was genuinely, right? You want to genuinely do it. You want to genuinely repent. Fix the problem.
Yes. This is very much aligned with Jason's personality. I did not need this test to tell me this. Jason is, he's all about let's fix the problem.
Let's fix the problem. That's all you got to do. If you got a tire that goes flat all the time, right? And it's causing issues. It's causing you to spend more money on gas. The ride is not comfortable. It's dangerous. Well, just change the tire. Just change the tire. Get it, fix it flat, something.
Yeah.
but fix the problem. It will solve a lot of other issues that is stemming from this particular problem.
Yes. Yeah. And
That's
let's
it.
like make a plan never to do this again.
Yeah, man. That's it. It's simple.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we all think this way? It's so simple.
Okay.
Go,
So what do you think
what
mine are? What if you had to guess?
If I was to guess, I guess you want to accept responsibility. I'm pretty sure that's high up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess make some restitution a little bit. So I'm curious to hear what you got.
Number one, I'm
Well,
gonna go
we're going from the top.
I like going. I don't know why you wanted to go from the bottom up, but that's you. Me and Jason are opposite.
Bottoms up. Hey, it was in the
opposites attract. Check it out. Episode. My main primary apology language is make restitution. You need to make it up to me. Figure it out. You need to figure it out. You need to do something to make it up to me.
That's good. That's good to know that that's
know
number
that.
one.
Yes.
That's good to know that that's number one. No, I didn't think that was number one.
So that was 10 out of 20. And then my next one is expressing regret.
What number was that?
That's a 4.
4. Wow.
4. So I don't know, like the questions that they were asking.
This
on
is
this
so
survey,
good. It's eye opening. I've been with her for 7 years. I've been knowing her for a long time.
Yeah.
Did not think that was going to be your number one. I knew it was going to be up there, but not number one. Maybe 3.
Well, like, I guess it's like, so the questions that they asked, they were kind of like very offensive things.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do something like, so the questions that they asked on the quiz, and I may have picked something that was, they need to make it up.
Right.
Because if you do something like publicly embarrass me or something, no, you need to make restitution. You need to do something.
That's why I said you gotta ask for my forgiveness on this type of stuff. You gotta, let everybody know.
So it really depends on what you do on whether or not you need to make restitution for me. But because a lot of times I do just accept the way Jason typically apologizes to me is say, I apologize. And, and we do automatically kind of work on a plan to not let that happen again. Or you'll just say, I apologize for, that, whatever it was that I did. I was wrong. You take responsibility for it. So a lot of times the situation that we're in, that's all that I need. So it's interesting to me too, that this would be the main one, but yeah, in certain situations,
right?
Oh no, I'm sorry, it's definitely not.
There's
enough.
Levels to it.
It's not.
There's
so
it's
definitely levels stuff for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you you need to do some.
If
stuff.
The worse you are, I guess the bigger infraction.
Yes.
You need to just put all the stuff in there.
Yeah.
You just got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I need.
That's the proper way to apologize. Is all this.
Right. Because now, if you do something that is a high offense to me, I may forgive you, but I'm not going to trust you.
Right.
So I do accept the apology, but now you have broken my trust. So really, for me, this is more about I did forgive you. I'm not like mad at you,
right?
But I just got my eye on you now.
Right.
I don't trust your behavior anymore.
Right.
So in order to earn my trust, you have to make restitution for it.
Right.
And like I said, depending on the different situation, I will not forgive you unless you make some restitution for what you did. Like that's a requirement. So the next one was expressing regret. Again, just I do want to know that you understand that you hurt me, that you understand what you put me through. Mm-hmm. So, but that's still pretty low in comparison to 10 points. Mm-hmm. It's 4 points. The next one was accept responsibility. I'm surprised that that's not higher because I'm all for accepting responsibility. Mm-hmm. If a person can just, accept responsibility for what they did and apologize, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Genuinely repent. Yeah, I'm all for that too, but that was only number 2 on here. Mm-hmm. And then the last one was number 1, which is request forgiveness. I'm surprised that that's not 0 along with Jason's because I never felt like I really needed to I needed to have someone ask me for forgiveness for me to do it.
Right.
To me, I'm sorry is you asking me for forgiveness.
Right.
Kind of. Yeah.
But not really.
But not really.
Yeah.
Now after
going through this,
I understand.
Right.
And I understand if I come across someone who said, well, you didn't ask for my forgiveness, I will understand why they need to hear that, and that it's not the same thing to them.
Like I said, it's possibly good practice just to...
Man, just like I said, just to say all of this. You mess up, go ahead and...
Make an apology smoothly.
Go ahead and express regret, accept responsibility, genuinely repent, make restitution, and request forgiveness.
Yes.
Just do it. Just do it all. Just do all 5 of them.
It covers it all.
Yeah, this is the perfect apology.
Yes.
it doesn't get much better than that. So
there it is.
We'll do all 5.
Do all 5.
Why not?
Why not?
If you really want to move forward in your relationship with this person, it's not too much to ask.
No, it's not at all. So I think this was a wonderful episode, love. I hope the listeners love this episode. And if you did get something from it, man, share it. Because you know, it's a lot of people could learn from this, right? You know, we was talking about this before we started the episode. You know, we really got into Loveology podcast. We really want to do this podcast because we feel like this is everything starts at home. You know, home training, right? And it starts with what makes a family.
Relationships.
It's the relationship. It's the two parents. That's what makes a relationship, right? It starts with you two. The family starts with you two, right? So once you get that down with you two, then now you can teach your children the same thing that you already have, and that's going to change the world, right? So we're doing this podcast to learn for our sake, but also to help others to hopefully change the world. So in order to help change the world, it takes you guys, that's our listeners, to be involved too, right? Not only listening, but also spreading the word, right? So if you don't mind, please share this on your timeline. Text 10 friends about Loveology podcast. And, you know, who knows what we can do to help change this world. We know love, it conquers all. So let's love together, baby. Let's
Absolutely. Go. And great news, Jason.
What? You pregnant?
No. That would be great news, guys.
Dang. You want to know my baby?
No, I don't.
I got to slide one in. Go ahead.
We are going to be celebrating our 1-year anniversary.
1 year anniversary. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Next week.
Next week we did it for a year.
Yes. Thank you guys for rocking with us for an entire year.
For a year.
I hope that you have grown.
New episodes every week.
Oh man, yeah. It was a challenge sometimes.
It is a challenge.
It was definitely a challenge sometimes to push them out every week, but we pushed through. So, you know, we've definitely grown a lot. I hope you all have grown and have enjoyed this as much as we have.
Yes.
But yes, we will talk more next week about, you know, what our 1 year experience of podcasting about love and life with some laughter has been like.
Yes. So make sure y'all check in next week. But anything else? You got anything else?
That's it. That's
hey,
it. Stay home, stay safe.
Stay home, stay safe for sure. But you know, Wednesdays want to talk more about this. All right. So we do a live discussion on Facebook live. You can go, you can check us out on 6:00 Pacific. It's at 8:00 Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, right? So check us out on Facebook. If you got any questions, shoot us an email at loveologypodcast@gmail.com. We talked about being a Patreon. Just go to loveologypodcast.com, become a Patreon, pick a tier. If you want to check out some apparel, we have some apparel. Check us out. Go to our page. And we are also having some, since this corona is going on, we got some face coverings, right? You want to make sure you protect yourself while you're out there shopping and stuff. You know, a lot of states and cities it's mandatory to have some type of mask or face covering. So we got that for you. Loveology Podcast. So go check us out. We appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And
oh, sorry. One last thing. I just wanted to say the name of the book again that we based this episode off, and that was When Sorry Isn't Enough by Gary Chapman and Jennifer Thomas.
There it is. All right, y'all. All right. Catch y'all next time. Peace out.
All right. You've been listening to the Loveology Podcast. Did you have fun with us today? Tell a friend about our show. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to keep the conversation going. Be sure to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. Visit us at loveologypodcast.com. Thanks for listening. Until next time, Loveologists.